All right, welcome everyone to another episode on a philosophy for life. Well, the first episode really, after this short pilot disclaimer thingy. I'd like to start with existence versus non-existence as the most fundamental, fact about this reality, I guess, that we can all agree upon. Because it kind of gives you all the law you need, and it shows you how laws are inscribed into nature, and how it doesn't matter if man writes them down or not to make them true or untrue. It's right and wrong are inherent to nature, and just like the fact of existence and non-existence is inherent to nature. And people generally want to exist. I would hope most people still really, really want to exist, but at the very least, they don't want to die. So, since existence is the desirable state of the two, it follows that which furthers existence is moral, and that which furthers non-existence is immoral. The beautiful thing about existence is that it's really the only thing that we all have in common. Now, let me explain this a bit. How we always say, all human beings are born free, all human beings are born equal. That it all sounds well and good, right? But what does it mean? Obviously, all human beings are not equal. From the moment you're born, every human being, even twins, from that moment, their lives, they branch out in different directions, and from that moment, every single experience that they make it will be different to one another, and even the experience that they share, they will interpret differently. So, to say, human beings are equal is a bit of a vague term that just, appeals to our romantic heart that just wants to hear nice flowery messages all the time. But the only thing we truly have in common that truly makes us all equal, all of us that experience the now, is that we exist. So everybody that's listening to this now is in existence, right? And as I said, I would go as far as saying existence is the only thing, the only one aspect, in which we truly are the same. Once we are in existence, our personalities, our characters, they branch out in infinite directions, all shaped by an infinite amount of individual experiences. Now, I'm not saying there are no overlaps. One of the beautiful things about being in a relationship with someone is, that you have all these experiences that you can share because you get a lot out of them as well. But it's still preposterous to assume while you are in those experiences, it feels the same. Like you interpret them through your lenses, through your consciousness. That's why the statement "we were all created equal" makes no sense, really. At least not if you interpret it as societies across the world interpret it, as meaning that our desires and wishes and urges and fears and cravings and needs were sufficiently equal to rule us, all under one banner, flag, government, symbol, idol, whatever. Usually people mean equal in the eyes of the law, and we'll get to law with several chapters because it requires several chapters. And they're so right, but also so wrong at the same time, because as you will see in the law chapters, there is such a thing as law, and natural law, and nature will treat each and every one of us, as being in existence, and whether we do what needs to be done to further existence or not. But back to desires, because I said earlier that, that which we desire, like, it's basically moral to. It shows that what is moral is that which furthers existence, and obviously we desire the things that furthers existence. So we all have the desire to eat, sleep, relax, work, do nothing, create, have sex, raise a family, etc. How we pursue these desires, however, and the way we want them to manifest exactly in our life, they differ more or less between individuals. And that's why it's so rewarding to find someone you can build a life with. On a larger scale, our desire to thrive and sustain ourselves leads to the formation of communities, where we organize to realize projects that are too great for one individual. Now, in all of these examples, our desire furthers our existence, be it basic survival desires and procreation, or more subtle forms like, working to build a nice house with a great garden to enjoy. Our desire to relax arises when we've worked hard and we can't wait to get back to work if we relax long enough. Our desires indicate to us individually what steps we need to undertake to further or enhance our existence. And since we established in the beginning that furthering existence, that which furthers existence, is moral, our desires are pretty good compass to act morally. And now, hold on, you might say, a lot of people desire evil things, and you're absolutely right. But apart from, say, the few psychopaths or the few people that follow a, really bad religion and want to do evil for these things, I think the bigger problem we have is this vast amount of humanity that doesn't even realize anymore if it's doing something right and wrong, because nobody knows what is right and wrong anymore. That's why we support a system like government. But we get to doing them other episodes. But you're right, people want to do bad stuff, and that's where we come back to the concept of free will, and the ability to make choices, which is where you need to also take a good look at your desires, because maybe you're desiring something that is immoral. The fact that you exist and have the desire to further your existence tells you that your neighbor also exists and has the desire to further their existence. This naturally, and with the beautiful logic of truth, limits the extent of your desires. You cannot desire anything that, if acquiring that desire would inhibit your neighbor's ability to further their existence. So this is the, mechanism built into freedom by nature itself to make you notice when you're doing something immoral. Like theft, rape, or murder. You wouldn't want those things to be done to you. It's the golden rule. It's been written down differently by many cultures, but the meaning is the same. Don't do unto others as you would not have them do unto you. So there you go. The fact that we want to exist dictates what is moral and immoral. In other words, no victim, no crime.